boys and girls, and welcome to episode 10 of the Nothing to Play podcast, mediocre podcast about video games, movies, and Sonic fan fiction. As always, it's your boy, Just-in-Time Carter, and this week, we don't have a special guest on the show. It's just me. I figured for the 10th episode, we haven't had an episode where it was just me since the first episode. So I kind of figured on this episode we would take a trip down memory lane and kind of, talk about some of my favorite moments throughout the first 9 episodes of the podcast. So that should be fun. This week, kind of want to have a little news, whatever, just kind of catch up from since episodes 8 and 9 were both recorded in the same week. A lot's kind of happened in the past 2 weeks. So, kind of catch up on some stuff. We're going to talk about some favorite podcast moments. It's going to be a good show. So, first off, negative space shirts. I know in last week's episode, I kind of mentioned at the end about potentially, I know when I posted my new Indiecade negative space shirts and stuff, I got a lot of likes, a lot of people saying that they wanted one in their size. One of the fucking headaches of this week was I was trying to work with this other company, not the one that I initially ordered my shirts through, to order some bulk shirts, and after dealing with them and going back and forth for 2 weeks, they couldn't do the shirts. But negative space shirts will still be coming. So yeah, I said at the end of the podcast I was going to do an announcement on Facebook for it. That's why you never saw it, was because shit fell through with the company I was trying to do it for. But when I get back from Indiecade next week, that's going to be one of my main tasks for myself, is to sit down and do that. So if you are interested in a negative space shirt, like for real, just message me your shirt size and stuff. And, so I can order, because I'm probably going to order some, a handful of larges, maybe some extra larges, a couple mediums, maybe like a couple youth sizes or something. And that's pretty much going to be it. So if there's like a special size that you want, let me know so I can order it in advance. I'll probably be selling them probably for about $20 a pop. So be on the lookout for that. And Indiecade's coming up. So today I'm recording this. I know the podcast is a little late this week. It's been kind of hectic with all the pre-Indiecade stuff going on. So I leave for Indiecade this Wednesday, and then I'm going to be back Sunday. But I'm going to record episode 11 while at Indiecade, and that's going to be a special episode. It's going to be fun. We're going to have multiple guests on the show at once, which is going to be a Nothing to Play podcast first, so that'll be a lot of fun. This week I also went to Schnepp Farms for the Pumpkin and Chili Festival. Usually every year they do like a peach festival, and then in the fall and stuff they'll do like a pumpkin festival. And so I sunburned the shit out of my face out there this past Sunday. What day did I go? I went Saturday. But yeah, got a lot of sun. We took Megan's little brother Killian out. He had a blast. They have like rides and stuff which are free, which in previous years you needed to pay like, I don't know, $20 or $15 or something for like a ride ticket thing to ride all the different little rides and stuff. This year was free, so that was dope. And most of them are big enough for like adults can go on them too, which is a lot of cool. So did that, went out there, got some like candied caramelized whatever cashews and macaroni and cheese and lemonade and Italian ice and shit. It was a lot of fun. Rock wall, climbed some walls. So it's from, I want to say it's like every Thursday through Friday through the month of October, or Friday through Sunday, something like that. So got that going on. I also want to thank everyone who's listened to the podcast and stuff so far. We have I think about almost 100 likes on the Facebook page and stuff, and there's been a lot of sharing and commenting and support. So I really appreciate it. I can't thank you guys enough for even listening to the podcast and stuff. It means a lot to me. And I wanted to highlight, this was pretty funny. This morning, I got a comment from, her name is Sadie K. Dudley, and it was on one of the post I did about the Fruit of the Loom gourd thing. What is it called? The fucking cornucopia or whatever. She commented on it. This person she looks like she's in her mid 60s. I don't even know if she knows what she was really anything about the podcast. She doesn't follow the page. I have no idea how she ended up finding the post, but she commented, "I went to check in Papa's t-shirts and none of them have the cornucopia. I honestly cannot remember whether they did or didn't, and I couldn't care less. LOL." Sunglasses emoji, thinking emoji, and then it looks like a blushing kind of thing emoji. But I just wanted you to know, Sadie, I guarantee you're probably not listening to this, but you're a national treasure. And with that too, I also got a lot of likes and a lot of support and stuff for the chocolate Coke versus ice milk video. That was a lot of fun to film and edit. That was my first time doing any real video editing and stuff, and I think it came out really good, and everyone seemed to like it and stuff. So I kind of want to do another one, or do another one or two of those kind of videos where it's me trying or doing whatever between two things and filming it. So that was a lot of fun. So if you have any ideas for that, hit me up on the page, because I'd like to do more of those videos. And I'm also trying to set up some more guests. I'm definitely going to have some returning guests, and I'm in the process of setting up some new guests. I'm trying to get Zach and Shannon from That Pixel Life podcast on the show. I know both of their schedules are fucking hectic, but I'm trying to I would love to get either, if you're listening to this, I'll have you on either one at a time, because I know Shannon's schedule is kind of crazy, and I know Zach's isn't much better, but, I'll have you both on. We could do an episode where it's each of you and then both of you together. So it's whatever, I'm flexible. And this week, so for movies, this one, I actually saw it before I saw it, but I don't think I ever talked about it. But I went and saw 3 from Hell. Rob Zombie's new movie. It's the third one in his trilogy of House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and then 3 from Hell. And it was pretty good. It was pretty entertaining. Megan went and saw it too, despite not having seen either of the first 2 movies. And she liked it. It's kind of fun. It's just kind of funny, weird movie and stuff. So it was pretty enjoyable. We went and saw Hobbs and Shaw as well, which I saw on Twitter when that movie came out. The best description I ever saw for that movie was, they said the plot is like when you're kids and you're playing with Hot Wheels, and you're just kind of playing with Hot Wheel cars, driving around, and just kind of making up this ridiculous story as you go along. And that's how they came up with Hobbs and Shaw. So that was about the most fitting description I heard for the plot of that movie. And it was okay, I thought there were some good moments between Jason Statham and The Rock, but there was also a lot of really stupid moments, and there was times where they tried to kind of be catty with each other, and you're just kind of oh my god, this is so forced right now. But it was okay. And then went and saw The Shining. They brought the remastered 4K, since Doctor Sleep, the sequel, is coming out next month. They were showing The Shining for a limited time in theaters, and it's been a while since I actually saw The Shining from beginning to end. like with it not being on TV or something. So, and Megan had never seen The Shining, so we went and saw it, and it still holds up so good. And that movie was so, I mean, the book, was pretty ahead of its time and stuff, but the movie especially was like for like horror, like psychological horror and stuff. And like, I think the movie came out, 1970 or 80, something like that. So the movie was like really ahead of its time for when it came out for like the horror genre and stuff. And, it had a lot of psychological elements to it. So that was really cool. And it still holds up. So that was really nice. Game wise, I finished Untitled Goose Game. I know I've talked about it in the last couple podcasts, but it's a really good game. It's very short. I mean, you can probably beat it. I think I beat it in just like a couple hours, like maybe 3 hours or so of playing, 3-4 hours. But it's a lot of fun. Definitely worth the money. It's probably it's probably going to be on like my top 10 list games for the year. It's a good game too, especially for kids. I think kids would absolutely love it. But it's a good game too for if you're just not like introducing someone who's not a big gamer. Like it's a good game I feel to introduce to someone who doesn't really play a lot of games, to just be like, "Here, try this game out." And there's even stuff to do once you beat the game, which is always fun. It kind of gives you a reason to play the game after you beat the game. And so I've done not all, but most of the missions for after you beat the game. There's still a couple that I need to do, but it was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. I've also been playing Link's Awakening right now, too. Is kind of what I've been playing right now. And that's a remake of the original that came out, because Link's Awakening originally came out on Game Boy, and then they remastered back in the day Link's Awakening DX on Game Boy Color, where it had color and it also fixed a couple bugs and stuff in the game, I believe. But it's on the Switch, and art style's gorgeous. It's literally Link's Awakening, like all the stuff in Link's Awakening and stuff. They didn't really add anything except for like they added like a little dungeon creator thing, which is pretty cool. I was playing around with that a little bit and stuff. So I'm about maybe, I'd say almost halfway done with the game and stuff right now. And it's been a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, as far news wise and stuff, that's about all I got for you guys. So we're going to dive into some of my favorite moments from previous 9 episodes of the podcast. And I actually can't believe we're already, it's crazy because an episode comes out each week. So it's crazy to me that really Nothing to Play podcast has been going on for only like a little over 2 months, and we're already at episode 10. So that's, pretty big accomplishment considering how fucking busy I am half the time. So I appreciate you guys for listening to the episodes and sharing it, and everyone who's been a guest and stuff that's come on the show. It's been a lot of fun talking with people and getting to just talk to people about movies and games and stuff, and I'm glad people enjoy listening to that. And dude, I'm happy for Troy too, having him as a guest on the podcast now. He did some videos and stuff for the snapping stuff, but now he has his own podcast too, where he talks about comic books and stuff. And that's been really cool because I don't really get the chance to read comic books anymore. So it's been nice listening to his podcast because I get to basically hear all the cool, crazy comic book storylines without having to actually sit down and read them. But let's dive into some of my favorite moments from the podcast. So, first off, I know there's been a lot of, funny intros and stuff that I've kind of done for, like, introducing our guests and stuff. So, right here, I'm going to put some of my favorite intros from previous podcasts. Let's have a listen. A special guest this week for you. Before we start, he's legally obligated to say that he is a registered sex offender. We got Brandon Smith.
Wonderful, thanks. Hi, everybody. And no, that's not true.
Well, I mean...
You want it to be true, but sadly it's not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to let you down, Justin.
We got another exciting episode for you this week. We got another guest. We have the fabulous Mr. Tanner Coach.
You son of a bitch. Already off to a great start.
And this week we have another special guest on the podcast. He's notoriously known across the Midwest for masturbating in Arby's. We have Troy Smith.
Oh, too true, unfortunately.
Not allowed back at that Arby's anymore.
Yeah, no. I mean, when they ask you for Arby's sauce, I would just turn it down.
Those are some good intros. I really duped those fucking idiots. But really, I mean, I need you guys to come back on. But, next, let's, I also know on the podcast we've had some, I've had my share of, mess-ups and bloopers and stuff from recording the podcast. So, let's have a listen to, some of my favorite mess-ups and bloopers on the podcast. Hello, and welcome to... Hold on. Fuck, see, it's a goddamn name thing, like, every fucking time.
Put the name in front of you, dude.
I know it is. It's like, I don't know why I'm fucking, like, so nervous. But
It's not
I
even-
took public... I know, it's just you, too. I'm not even trying to impress you or anything. So
I know,
don't
right? I mean, I'm just a playtester. Who are you trying to
Video
impress?
games, movies, and your mom.
Oh,
This is... God, fucking man. Alright, it's episode 4, and I'm sure you've heard a lot about him through previous podcasts, and we have him as a guest on this week's podcast, Maddie Martin.
hi.
Oh, hi. We have another spectacular guest on the podcast today. We have, most notoriously known for mixing ice with milk, we have Mr. Well Dang It himself.
Oh, hey, thanks for saying my name wrong. I like that. Trust me. I have this thing where I tell my mods, and thank you for saying my name wrong as well, because I don't like to give people my real name and stuff. So I tell my mods to always just keep using different names. So I go by Justin, Kevin, Nathaniel, Benjamin. So it's nice. It works out for me. So don't worry. You did a fine job. And so long as you keep not using my real name, you're good.
All right, well, I can always just edit your name out.
Oh, yeah, you want to do that?
I'll just put a censor bar over your name. And,
Yeah, all right.
Or I'll just spell it differently than how it's really spelled.
You don't even have to say, we can do another one. Just don't say my name.
No, I think it's going to be funnier just to censor your name.
Okay.
I was like, well, we're just going to leave it. We're going to run with it. Oh, boy. Those were some
Insane.
bloopers. And last but not least, this one is for the guests. This is some of my favorite guest moments that I had on the show, where I had some guests on, they might have said some stuff. You know, let's hear what the guests have to say. Let's have a listen.
And then they sit you in a movie theater, and it's just like the actors and directors and producers and shit like that, just like talking about the making of the movie and like what you're about to see. And I literally cried. It was not my proudest moment, but like I was just like nerdcoring so hard over Harry Potter at that moment in time that I just like felt like a child again. It was like awesome.
Chantel's like looking over at you. She's like, dude, is this motherfucker for real right now?
She's like, I didn't get a prenup, did I?
like Harry from the first movies on the screen, and you're like sobbing your eyes at this 14-year-old boy.
God damn it. Yeah, it's whatever, man. It just, sentiments the love I have of the franchise.
And even then, like, all right, so then it becomes like 2% milk or like skim milk. Who the fuck cares? Not a big deal. Still milk. Just a little water. No problem, my dude. Fuck those people. But hey, thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate it. Or listening, whatever. Thanks a lot.
Due to the fact that he was like 24 when Final Fantasy came out.
I know he wasn't.
Dude, we josh on him all the time about how
What?
old he is.
Why?
Because
He
he's
doesn't
like
look that old.
Well, no, it's not that he looks old, but like what was it? Like me and Matt were one time when we were working on super fun stuff, like me and Matt were talking about, I think it was like Mario Kart, like Double Dash, or like or Mario Kart 64, like one of those, and like PJ was talking about, he's like, how in college, like, he's like, yeah, he's like, in college for like Mario Kart 64, he's like, yeah, we'd go over to like this dude's dorm and like do Mario. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, I was like, that's crazy. You'd go over to your friend's dorm. He's like, yeah. I was like, I go to my friend's house. I was like, because I was like 9. And he's like, dude, fuck off.
Yeah,
Like, so I always give him shit about how much older he is than like me and Matt.
He's only a year older than me.
You like feel better. You're like, whew.
You see these white hairs right here? Yeah.
Oh, man. Those were some solid guest moments, if I do say so myself. So, I know this was a kind of shorter episode, but it was it was a kind of shorter episode, but I appreciate you guys for listening. I appreciate everyone who's come on the show multiple times. I know Tanner's been on a couple times. I kind of want to get Matt on again, but I know his schedule's a little crazy. And if you want to be a guest on the show, hit me up. Don't be shy. I'd love to get. I haven't had a female guest on the show yet. I tried to get Whitney, one of my friends, to be a guest. She said that she would come on if Matt came on. So I need to work with her schedule, try and get her on. But, if you want to be a guest on the podcast, just fucking let me know, man. Like, I ain't scared of no ghosts, But, that's probably going to wrap it up for this episode. I know it's a kind of shorter episode, but I also have some Chinese food to eat, and I still need to edit this and all, and then I need to, I still have a bunch of shit I need to get ready for Indiecade and stuff. That's this week. I'm being there for 4 days. I'm just going to be showing the game at Indiecade 2 on Thursday the 10th. I'm going to be showing the game. It's going to be in the morning, so, if you're at Indiecade by some chance and you're there on Thursday, I think I'm showing it between like 10 a.m. and like 12:30 or something like that. I'll post on Facebook or something the actual time and location and whatever that'll be showing it, but that'll be a lot of fun. I got some new negative space stickers. You can come, give me a hug. And yeah, so that's going to wrap up this week's episode. Here's to another 10 episodes to come, and thank you all for listening, and you're beautiful.